Members of the Utah Figure Skating Club, of which I am not one, started on an outdoor rink, very similar to the one I'm on right now. A lot has changed since back then in the 1950s. For one, athletes practice indoors, and a new generation of leaders and skaters are reshaping the idea of who belongs on the ice in Utah.
I feel like she was made for it.
She was quite fearless when she first started.
So I guess it wasn't that good of a fun. Most of the time, my mind's kind of blank when I skate. You can be so stressed and then you step on the ice and it's just like all goes away.
It really is impressive. She has not been skating long in the world of figure skating for how much she's accomplished.
I'm Elidi Lawson. When I first started skating, I'd see people doing things, not really know anything about the move, but I'd be like, I should try that. Most kids start at like 5 years old, 3 years old, but I started at 10.
10 is considered late in figure skating.
Sometimes I feel a little guilty because she started asking me when she was probably 3. And I just kind of dragged my feet a lot. I knew what she would have to face and what she would have to experience. Being Black in Utah and having these biracial daughters, I always wanted them to be proud of who they are. I always tried to find people that looked like them. And so I remember taking Elidi to California. I went to LA to see Misty Copeland. That inspired her. We joined the Utah Figure Skating Club, which is actually the oldest skating club in Utah. The club was dying. There wasn't any leadership, and they would have to merge with the Salt Lake Club. I called the current president and said, what position do you have left? And it was the president's job, and I took on that role.
There's not a lot of diversity in the rinks in Utah, or like pretty much anywhere.
It is really hard. There's not a lot of Black people in skating. Very, very few. Isabel surprised me. She has an advantage, that she's watched her big sister do these things. When you're judged on how good your costume is and you show up with things that don't match your skin tone, that's gonna affect how you skate mentally, because you think, well, I'm already going to get minuses for the fact that my presentation isn't as good as it could be. It makes you feel like you don't belong. When we first started, we looked everywhere to find brown tights that fit her skin tone. The first skating competition she had, we just couldn't find the right shade. So I bought tan, which was really Caucasian color, and she was so embarrassed by it. We still haven't found skating gloves her skin tone. I have to dye them or paint them so that it comes close to matching. Skating is an extremely, extremely expensive sport, and I think that's also a barrier. You think, well, there's not enough Black skaters in the sport. Why should I invest in it? But what if you invested, that would help more people feel like they can do the sports?
I hadn't realized that there's just not a lot of diversity in skating. And so it's just been really fun to see her grow and develop. Skaters, we take a lot of hard falls. I think most of us have tailbone injuries or wrist injuries at some point.
I had tried my double axel off the belt for the first time, and Kelsey thought I was really close, like I was gonna land it the next day. But then the next day in the morning, I was training off ice and I rolled my ankle. None of my jumps feel as normal as they used to, but slowly but surely we're gonna get back. Because I'm landing so early.
I remember when she first landed her axel. Her goal was to just land it in competition for the first time. That was probably her worst competition. It was so painful to watch. She fell on every single element possible, but she landed the axle. She landed the axle, she reached that goal, and we celebrated. I hope that I can make enough changes, at least in Utah, for people to be more welcoming of the diversity.
When I first started, I felt like really lonely. I didn't feel like an ice skater or like part of the ice rink.
That is so important for people to see that they belong, they can do this.
Wow, so many vibrant colors and characters who warm my heart simply by sharing their story. And we want to hear your journey too. Chime in on This Is Utah's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Hit the like button, share a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'm Leah Zadiola, and this is Utah.